English, right? I understand. No need to repeat. Let's move on. Because the ego will hit, they don't want to have this kind of additional conversation. Now strike a balance between taking over the interaction and offering insights. So when there is something, that's why you need to value add. So there is an interaction going on. If you think you can share something else, you can say, hi, can I just share my perspective to this? But your perspective better be different and better be valuable. Not repeat what that person was sharing, then the person will say, what do you think I'm talking then? Both persons will get upset. Whether the two people having the interaction, if you are the third one coming in, the two having the interaction will get upset. Okay? So that is sharing. So sharing thoughts. We're going to look at one video about sharing thoughts. So here Beth is having a difficult time working with Maggie. Okay? Jeff shares his thoughts with Beth on how to approach Maggie. So he doesn't like talking to Maggie. He's now talking to Beth and telling Beth, I think I'm going to go and say this to Maggie. What do you think, right? So listen for how Jeff's sharing is both selective and balanced. Okay? I'm going to let you watch one more video. We have two more last videos for the day. This is sharing thoughts. Okay.
Okay, well, I think that's it. Oh, wait a minute. The report. I almost forgot. Sorry I couldn't put the finishing touches on it, but it's in fairly good shape. I know you can take over from here. But let me know if you have any questions, all right? Thanks, Beth.
Can you believe that? Fairly good shape. She knows this needs more work before I can turn it in. And she dumps it on me and expects me to fix it. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the last time she pulls this on me. Not today, Nick.
Where are you going?
To talk to Ken. I'm not putting up with this anymore.
Hold on. Wait a second.
What?
Listen. You've got every right to be angry. You know it, and I know it. All this extra work?
At the last minute.
Right. It's not fair. Think about this, though. Is going to Ken the best way to handle this?
If it gets results.
Will it? You go to Ken, he goes to Susan, and then she'll go to Maggie. Then after the dust settles, you still have to work with Maggie. But now, she's as angry at you as you are at her.
Fine with me. She needs to know that I'm not going to take this anymore.
I agree she needs to know. She needs to know from you. I've been down this road before, and I think going directly to Maggie might be better. You can barely start with her. Give her a chance to fix it, without escalating the problem. What good will it do to jeopardize your working relationship?
You're right. You're right.
See how persistent? So he was very persistent. It was not his problem. He was just part of a conversation, right? And while he was being part of that conversation, he can see the tension. So when he sees the tension, he is now sharing his thought. She said she was going to go and talk to the bigger boss and just complain about this person. Now, does that help?
No.
No. So he then decided to butt in. But did he have valuable suggestions? Yes. So whatever he told her, it was very, very selective. It was balanced. It was telling her what to think about. And is it really going to solve her problem? Addressed her needs. Addressed the practical needs. Right? So what did she do? She calmed down eventually. Now, she might still go and talk to Ken. Can you stop that? No. But what have you done? You've at least paused it for a thought. So, if initially she should have gone to talk to Ken and said, oh, Ken, she's forever like this. She always makes excuses, blah, blah, blah. Now, she might go and tell Ken, I think she's having some challenges in this area. So maybe we need to support her like this. So do you think it's okay if I handle the situation in this manner? Two different things. She's already calmed down, she's settled, and she's not going to talk to her boss because she wants to throw somebody under the bus, but she wants to talk to her boss to see how she can find a solution. Okay, so that's what happened. Now, was it difficult for Jeff to share his thought with Beth? Why and why not?
Well, I don't think it was hard, but he had to keep his cool and make sure that he empathized with her. I think that was the hard part, instead of going straight saying, I think this is a terrible idea, you should just be doing this instead. He had to make sure that she calmed down and understood from a proper place of understanding, right? Because if she's emotional
Mhm.
and you just tell her that she's wrong straight to her face, she's probably gonna just straight away just get up, go to Ken, and
Okay.
not listen to you.
Right.
But he had to empathize with her, so he took his time. I think that was probably the hard part. Maybe he's good at it, but the hard part is making sure that you tend to that person's emotions and then give them the suggestion.
Yeah. And in the process, sometimes you might be on the receiving end of a little
Oh, yeah.
bit of whatever she's saying and her anger and everything. Now go
You
down on
misdirected.
him, right? Okay. So yes, because Beth was angry and might have felt that Jeff was supporting Maggie. So this often happens when you talk for somebody else. People tend to have a preconceived idea. Yeah, you always support her. You know, that's why you are always taking Maggie's side. But you don't understand, I'm still irritated because she doesn't do her work. So that could be the reason why this all could go wrong, right? But it was important to share, right? Who said just now, you know, you should at least write something and not write nothing, because nothing gives you nothing. So you share your thoughts, yeah, then you at least might get something out of it. Okay? So next, sharing thoughts. Why might you decide not to share your thoughts in a situation like this? Why won't you share? Let's say poverty. If you were put in a situation like Beth, why wouldn't you share?
Because I think looking at this situation, right, she already have a mindset.
Okay.
Mindset, you know, that's going to be difficult working with Maggie.
Okay.
I'm not like going to move forward, you know, and make changes to myself or agree to some solution. Or she have that mindset at that point of time. Maybe
Right.
she's angry,
Right.
she's very disappointed. Or maybe if you give her some time, she might think about it over and, you know, come back.
Okay.
So that's what I feel.
So that's why you feel that, you know, if you don't want to share your thoughts, it's because she's angry.
Yeah.
Okay, to avoid getting involved in the situation. Some people just want to stay away. You know, it's not my problem. Why do I want to get into this mess? I want a good night's sleep today. Okay? Then the person might think that I'm wrong and turn against me. So, like say for example, if they're supporting Maggie, then at the end of the day, Beth could have fought with Jeff. And said, this Jeff, I don't believe him anymore. Okay? Next one, what's the benefit of sharing your thoughts? What do you think went well?
That.
Okay, no, because I already explained to you all just now, so I thought I'll give you the answer. Offers experience and advice. Okay, so that, like we said, there are many ways to cut a pie. So how would have Jeff handled it? He shared his thought. How was Maggie going to, Beth going to handle it? Terribly, like going and throwing people under the bus. So it shows support, and it definitely opens lines of communication, right? So you can think, you can decide, and maybe then she will have a new way of addressing the situation, and then she can come and talk to Jeff and say, okay, you know, I thought about it and now I think I'm going to address it this way. What do you think?
I have a
New
question.
line. Yes.
So, like Jeff and Maggie, Jeff and
Beth.
Beth.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm assuming that they are on
Colleagues.
the same line, right?
Yes.
Means they're probably the same
Yes.
level.
Even if they're not,
Yeah, but if let's say, what if the situation is such that Jeff is on the lower level?
it's okay.
Okay, but
He's not going to sound like, oh, I know better than you. You can say, I just observed the conversation and I'm wondering if you're willing to take my suggestion. I have a different opinion to how I think we should do this. What do you think? Don't say this way you should do it.
But okay, like sharing thoughts, right? It can be a very
It's vulnerability.
subjective kind of thing as well, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
And the person may accept or may not accept, but that's not what we're getting at. I can tell you what I feel, I can tell you how to deal with it. Now, if Beth still goes to talk to Ken and throws Maggie under the bus, then Beth will face the consequences.
But doesn't it put you in a bad spot? If
Who-
you're Jeff?
If you're Jeff, it doesn't, because you already shared your idea. You don't want to use it, it's okay. You just shouldn't have the ego that, oh, I gave an idea and now they don't want to use it. No. Nobody here has the right answer because we're talking about situations. It's about navigating through conversations. You may be right, but maybe based on who Ken is, maybe Beth's way might have been the right way. Otherwise, maybe Beth will get fired. So if she listens to, Jeff, and she follows Jeff's way, maybe Beth will get fired, because we still don't know who is Ken in this picture, right? So it really depends on the situation, and it depends on who you're addressing. But to address what you just said, if you are the younger employee and you feel that the older employee might have an ego, always ask for involvement. That's why we use involvement. You can share your thoughts. You can say, I think this might be one way of looking at it, but what do you think? You think it can apply in this situation? So it doesn't look like you know it, but you're just thinking out aloud. You always say that, I'm just thinking out aloud in this situation. Do you think this will apply? So it just looks like you're checking whether it will apply. It's okay. It's just different ways of communicating, and I think that's how you need to adapt your conversation to the situation. Okay? Hope I answered your question. No? You have another question? Ask.
Not really. I mean, okay, so like my understanding of it, I feel is it's very subjective because I feel there's a lot of things that you need to consider. I don't know whether I'm overthinking the situation or not, but like I feel like if let's say you're Jeff, right? So just now you like this one, the one where you're talking about why might you decide not to share your thoughts, right? So to avoid getting involved in the situation, the person might think you're wrong and turn against Jeff. So I feel like if let's say you're planning on staying in a company, it also puts you in a lot of possibilities. Where now if let's say Beth is above you, right, and feels like you're against their opinion or something like that, they might also park you as someone similar to Maggie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So answering first question, overthinking.
Yeah.
2, you are overthinking.
Yeah.
Why? Because look here, all we said was when you share your thoughts, okay, you need to be selective and balanced. Nobody said that you must share your thought.
Okay.
So you look at the situation. You feel you don't want to share your thoughts and you want to stay out of the situation. You remember in the beginning we said we have choices. We have choices to make. Okay? But of course we are human, right? And if we see somebody is really going to get into some hot soup, and then if you decide to just keep quiet and do nothing about it, then do nothing is the bad situation. Right? So you need to be very selective. So we're not saying that you must share, especially if it is not your problem. If it is your problem, you must share. But if you are not, and you're the third party getting into the picture to share your thought about something, you always have a choice. And if you think, you remember we said value add. If you think you can value add, then share, no harm. But again, how you share, depending on who it is,
I think that's the bigger thing.
Yeah.
It's about how to convey the message. And
This is actually a very difficult topic to teach because there is no, there is no one straight answer. I cannot tell you if you do this, then yes. If you do this, then no, right? But it is application of the entire tool that you learn. And that tool is different to different situations and you must practice. The more you practice, you will see on your own, you will start seeing your employees will be very excited about being around you. Otherwise, suddenly you will be that boss who has to go and eat your own lunch. The employees don't want to come and sit with you and eat. I have these situations where I always am sitting with my employees and eating because it doesn't matter what level, whatever, because work is work, but we have our own conversations when we're having lunch and dinner. Now, not many situations this can happen. But can I do that with all my employees? I have 7. No, I can do that with 5. So there are 2 that I can't. Does that make me a bad boss? Maybe not, but that takes a different act or a different sharing or a different interaction with them in order to manage their expectations. So you've got to pick and choose, and that does not make, so that's why I said there is no right or wrong answer here. There is just how you navigate. Okay, what is the situation? Okay, sharing feelings. Okay, when you share feelings, so just now we were sharing thoughts, okay? But when you're sharing feelings, okay, match feelings to the issue. What does that include? Tone of voice. Okay? You're telling somebody that you're going to be terminated, and then yeah, you start having this funny grin on your face. You know lah, this company, I don't know who they're going to kill lah, but this time it's you lah. And you have this kind of face when you're trying to convey such a serious message like that. What are you trying to say? So you need to match the feelings to the issue. Okay, whatever you're trying to communicate. Be serious. If you think you want somebody to stop being tardy, be serious. Don't keep smiling. Yeah, but I think you can do it like that, right? Person won't even feel the seriousness of the issue, right? So when you share feelings, I'm really disappointed lah. Hi. No, this is not going to help. You're disappointed. Look at the person in the eye and tell them, I am so disappointed with the way this project has gone. You need to match the feelings with the issue. Okay? Next, you need to be true to yourself. When you're sharing feelings, don't go and share somebody else's feelings with them, okay? That's not what we're sharing. Don't say, oh yeah, this situation, but I heard the other day I was talking to Puvati, Puvati was saying something else, and this is how she's feeling. That's wrong. That's Puvati's story to tell. That's Puvati to share her feelings. You don't go and share Puvati's feelings with someone. So you need to be true to yourself, okay? Next. Oh, what happened to the earlier one? Sorry, okay. So there are risks and benefits when you do this, okay? So the risk is you might, sometimes when you share feelings, a lot of people tend to feel that you feel very vulnerable. Like, oh, I'm disappointed. Then, oh, you're the boss and you're disappointed. Oh, the boss is sad because the project didn't work out. Oh, you're the boss and you're feeling sad. Oh, that means you're quite weak. No, you can feel sad. You're human. Okay, you're human. It's okay. Doesn't matter. And if they ask you, boss, you also can feel sad. I say, yeah. Do I look like a robot? Human. Of course I can feel sad. Okay? So, could alienate you from the group. Yeah, your peers might think, oh, you were some superstar now when you're trying to. So that's a risk. Okay, but it not necessarily happens. Okay, but this could be some of the reasons why people avoid sharing feelings, and there could be a backlash if it's not done well. So if you're not true to yourself and you're trying to share your feelings, now then people could stop trusting you because they will think, oh, this one is simply telling stories. Okay, and then benefits. Others might feel like they're not alone, which is great when you share feelings. Like in a lot of situations today, we said, oh, I've been there and I know how it feels that you are not able to finish the project on time. Okay, very simple. That, feels like they can associate with you. Validates people's feelings and they make people feel more comfortable. So next time, you look like the approachable line manager who they can come and talk to when they feel something, which helps you because then you can plan your next interactions or your next projects better. Alright? Sharing feelings, you are going to see Beth. I'm going to share another last video for today. So here, just now we were sharing thoughts, okay? Now we're going to talk about feelings. Now you're going to see Beth share her feelings with Maggie. You remember they had, what did Jeff say? Yeah. Maybe she should hear it from you, okay? So now what Beth has done, she's made her choice. She's decided she's going to go and share her feelings with Maggie so they can work out a solution to their problem. And we're going to listen what Beth chooses to tell Maggie on what she feels, okay? So let's look at this. This is the last video. Sharing feelings. We're almost there.
I know this needs more work before I can turn it in, Maggie. Just some fine-tuning, maybe. This needs more than fine-tuning. This isn't easy for me to say, but this is the third time you've expected me to finish your report.
Don't you think I'd put more time into it if I could?
I don't know. Honestly, I think you're so busy that you just put as much time into it as you think you need to, and then you say to yourself, well, here's a place I can cut corners because I know Beth will fix it. I want us to work together on this. So you need to understand that I feel like I'm being taken advantage of. Because I was willing to do this in the past, expect it now, and that makes me angry. I have a hard time working with someone when I'm angry with them.
I'm sorry. I really am. I had no idea you felt like that. I guess I just thought you understood.
I do understand that you're busy. We both are. And now that we've had a chance to talk, maybe we can find a way to handle this that works for both of us.
Okay? So, did you see that sharing of feelings? Could it have gone wrong?
I feel like this is a bit tailored, you know, but this doesn't feel, yeah, it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like
So that's why I'm asking the question. Do you think it could have gone wrong?
Yeah.
Do you think Maggie could have taken this wrongly?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it was not an easy conversation. Okay? But whatever the situation is, the most important thing is she heard it from Beth.
That's true, yeah.
And not Jeff going and telling her, you know, Beth was angry today and she was saying that you always give half-standard work and all of that, right? So that would have gone really bad. Now that she has heard, she'll be angry for the moment, okay? It could be two things. It could be like either she really doesn't know that this is how, you know, Beth is feeling and what you saw was what you get. Or she could be really upset with it, but it's okay. At the end of the day, she knows next time when she wants to deliver, the practical need is already ticked. Because next time, she's going to check her work 3 times before she gives it. Otherwise, she's going to hear again, right? So these are the difficult conversations where, you know, they don't sound as pleasant, but you still need to have, and you need to be very, very factual. You need to address the feelings, and you can share your feelings. You don't need to worry about feeling vulnerable. Okay, so this is really important. Alright, so I think we more or less, so the air is clear, they now can focus on the solution. So I think that's the most important. End of the day, solution. What is your objective? Why are you having this conversation? You need the job done. So it's important that we do that. So this one I think we will pass. We already spoke about it. Okay, Maggie will trust Beth. We spoke about it. What basic belief? One is here. Supporting others. Right?
Prove to yourself. Okay.
What do you think?
Is it respect?
Hmm?
No, the other one, but is it the whole team is responsible for
Quality.
Teamwork work. Quality is everyone's job.
job?
Yes, so that's the third one. But I think this year is trust begins with you.
What did I say?
Hmm?
What did I say?
What do you say?
What do
You didn't say trust, but
yeah, I
you
said
said
something.
something
begins
along
with you.
those lines.
That's why I was like, wait.
But you
I was thinking of the
put,
trapeze, you know?
You put thought about trapeze.
Trapeze,
Okay. So
Yeah.
trapeze means trust begins with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you see now how the fourth one has links? So what's the first?
Associates.
Oh.
Wait, the first
Key
one is
principle.
key principle. Esteem.
Esteem, then
Empathy.
empathy, then
Involvement,
sharing.
and now
Support.
the most
Support.
important one, support. Okay. So support is very simple. In today's world, very few people can be successful working alone. Some people still think that, you know, I can remote work and work by myself, but no, you're still working with somebody on the other side. Okay? Almost everyone is expected to do their own jobs, but also support teammates and their work groups. Whether it is collaboration, whether it is people below you, or whether it's to support your boss above you. Okay? Supporting others contributes to success is the foundation belief for this key principle. So there is no other principles, only that we said, supporting others, right? And I think the other thing that really supports this in terms of basic belief is also that you are responsible for your own success. Okay?
I think that's what I said.
That's what you said.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so what are some of the ways you could provide support? Okay, so coaching people, right? Acting as sounding board. People talk to you and you give them your thoughts and everything. Okay, that's one more way of providing support. Brainstorming, listening to people's ideas and offering your own. Providing advice and guidance, but this one you need to be very cautious how you do it, because you shouldn't be seen as, you know, I'm the one who knows all the answers, you know. But always that involvement part has to come in, and mentoring new employees is a great way of providing support. So sometimes when new employees come to the organization, they're very vulnerable because they do not know what to expect, what's norm here, what's not norm here. So playing mentor is like a great thing for them. Okay? Now, making commitments, okay. So as managers, right, in any interaction, so just now, I wanted to point back, I don't know whether we wrote it down, but I wanted to point back at something you said in the first conversation today. Because she was talking about being one of the top performers, and you said somewhere along the lines of salary increase or bonus or something you said.
I think she mentioned base salary. Basically,
Yeah.
the conditions is what she relies on. But that's what
So,
people do.
so when she said that, right, did you need to agree on it immediately?
Oh, right. Oh.
So if you agree, do you know if you can deliver that promise?
I mean,
You have a boss as well. Now, if you are the CEO of the company, of course, you can say these things, right? But if you're not and you've got bosses on top,
yeah.
you make that promise and then the boss says, no, this year I cannot increase anybody's salary, then you've just made a promise that you can't keep. Okay, so these are some little facts that you need to remember. When making commitments, you can't keep keeping the commitments you make, even when it means helping without taking over. You always must keep that promise. Cannot, don't commit, don't say it. Okay? Don't automatically say yes when someone asks you to take responsibility. This is very important. If somebody says, boss, I cannot do, I think you better do, don't just say yes. Okay? Because you still need to talk about who the right people hired to do the right job. Okay? So that's important. Don't assume you have the best way to approach an issue or a task. There are always value in differences. Okay? Ask people to identify the type and amount of support they need. Don't guess. So, say for example, now by the end of this training, right, I will have a follow-up call with you to see if you need support with your interactions. Okay? So, I'm not going to sit here and assume because you were already in my class and with the way you were answering questions, I'm not going to assume and say, oh, you know what, Pranav, I think this is how you were working on it, so do you need any more support? I think you only need support in share and support the other parts. All I think you are okay. But that's a very big assumption. Okay, so always do not assume, always ask what kind of support they need so that you can really craft the support around it. Okay, define roles and responsibilities. Check to be sure that everyone involved has the same picture. So sometimes you're doing a team effort, everybody has a role to play in it. Clearly define those roles and responsibilities, because if you don't, then you are going to end up with everybody doing nothing. Everybody thinks she's doing or she's thinking he's doing, and then end of the day comes and we're doing nothing. Okay? So that's important. So why do some managers remove responsibility so easily? So most of the time, when a deadline is coming, we just remove it and say, you haven't done, okay, come, let me do it. Why do they do that? For very selfish reasons. They think it saves time, or they have no confidence that the team is going to be able to do it, or it prevents conflict. I don't need to have this conversation, it's easier, let me just do it, right? But those are all the wrong reasons. So the key principles will help you with smooth interaction with colleagues, so use them. Don't run away from conversations because it's not worthy. Alright? So, in summary, people have personal needs, people have practical needs, and now we already have addressed the practical needs and the personal needs using the key principles. We're in the last stage of this session, which will take another 15 minutes. But before that, you have one test to do of what you've learned so far. That's also still a recap test. Then we have 15 minutes to cover the journey. Okay? Then we're almost done. Then it's the final exam and the journey. Okay? So the next test, the test. So this test also 5 minutes, okay? This one is less, not even 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Take one, pass around.
There you go.
Okay.
start immediately or?
Yes, can start when you receive it, no problem.
Okay, so this one open book exam. Then this will go.
Is this a final test?
No, that is the 80% test. That's about this, another recap. And then we just have the interaction guidelines, another 15 minutes. And then I think we should be done with the final test and trainer evaluation. It should be a quick debrief of the recap of what we did this morning and what should have been done. So we'll have a quick role play and see how they've improved from what we've learned. This is easy, right? It's an easy peasy question.
Can refer, right? Can refer.
No?
Cannot.
Exactly.
Can.
Second there you
And then on the
Okay, refer, it's fine.
Refer.
It's a recap. The one that you cannot refer, and I'm going to ask you to put away all your things in the last exam. So now you want to refer, you will refer. And you finished? Okay. What you finished?
Oh, that was good. What number 3?
selective.
Okay, are we done?
Okay.
Hey, this is a shorter question paper. It will be quick. Recap. Done? If you're done, you exchange with the person in front of you again.
Okay, what you put for number 2?
This is really ask for help.
I put situation lah.
So what's on 5?
Situation.
It was very
What was
originally
the question?
to effectively share your feelings with others. It's important to match feelings to the
Issue. It's definitely issue.
definition.
It's definitely issue. Because it was on
You know what I
the
put?
page.
No, you know what? You know what I put at first one?
What?
Fact.
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
That's why.
Put fact to everything. You know?
Yeah.
Fact.
I'm pretty sure my number 5 is wrong lah, but this is actually coming from what is my brain.
What do you put
Okay,
number
good.
Not from
Let's
anything I
exchange.
pulled out.
And let's read. Okay, so are we ready?
Yeah, this is my first answer as well.
Yeah. I don't know
Are
what
we
the
ready?
answer.
Come, exchange.
Yeah.
That's an opposite. Okay, first one. What help do you need from me as you take over this responsibility?
Support.
Support, okay. I have to tell you that when you cut me off in that meeting and wouldn't even listen to my idea, I was hurt and angry. Share. Darius, you agreed to help revise the process. I can help too if you'd like.
Support.
Okay. I have to be honest and admit that I'm feeling confused by these changes.
Share.
Very good. So number 2. Everybody got all right?
Number
Wow.
2 is issue.
Number 2 is issue. Number 3 is selective.
The roles and responsibilities.
Number 4 is roles and responsibility. And number 5 is
Guidelines.
choices.
What about decisions? Yeah.
Choices. I told you they're not decisions.
I thought you said don't parent it,
Huh?
Don't parrot it.
Don't be a parent.
No, don't
Yeah.
parrot it, but it must mean the right thing,
Yeah,
right?
decisions and choices are almost the same.
No,
They're synonyms.
choices can be wrong choices.
Decisions can be wrong decisions.
But very bad. Decision means you are imposing. Choices is what you make.
Okay, so what about plan?
Plan.
It's only 8, right? Not 9, huh?
What?
1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6, 7.
9, 6,
Oh,
7,
Oh,
8,
because
9.
of this one got 2 answers. Oh,
Yeah.
Wait,
so
They
this
say
is
roles and responsibility is 2 answers.
Oh, roles first.
7, 8, 9. Is
No,
the 9,
roles and
right?
responsibilities is
So what's the meaning on plan?
Roles and responsibility including is 9.
I think it's wrong.
What is that?
Choices.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
What?
No, roles and
6,
responsibility
1,
counts
2,
as
3,
2.
9.
4,
Roles
5,
and
6, 7,
responsibility is
8,
2.
9. It's still 9.
Yeah lah, boy, memang 9 lah.
Yeah, it's 9, 9.
correct one.
Nine.
Alright, so what did you say just now? Plan.
What's 1 out of 9 good? What 8 out of 9?
Plan. How? Backhand.
What's 8 out
I
of 9?
need to make the right plan about how to interact. Can.
Hey, plan can.
Plan can. Make
Oh,
right
decision?
decision, okay,
Decision.
accepted.
Oh, so right decision can. Number 5 can. Oh, decision can.
Now is again.
But it's actually about
But
choices.
choices.
Why? Because
But
you have an
right-
inner struggle and you want to make a choice, right?
Like
Well
guidelines?
done, well done.
Guidelines also can.
Understand.
No, because guidelines becomes very specific, right? So you need to plan. You need to make a plan, or you need to make a choice, or you need to make a decision on what you're going to do, but you cannot.
I thought it all ends up into the guideline.
No,
How
it's
are you
not,
going to
because
approach
it's
it?
not very mechanical. It's
Okay.
not supposed to be. Right? Choices are choices. Okay? Let's move on to the last and final module, which is going to be so easy because all of you have received this, right?
It's not a coloring book or something.
You can color and make it beautiful and put it in front of your office seat so you practice. Okay, so it's looking like this, like a nice picture, so you can make it as beautiful as you want. Okay, but for now, if you look at that map, okay, that map already identifies for you where you need to use your interaction guidelines. Okay, so as you can see here, every interaction you have has a goal and purpose. The practical need for the interaction, you need to use the guidelines so that you get from one end of the conversation to the other. Okay, but in the middle, you need to inject you can see where is the esteem, where is the empathy, where is the involvement, where is the share, and where is the support. Okay, so here we go. Open, clarify. These are the 5 steps. Okay, you open a conversation, you clarify, you develop the conversation, you agree on what happens, and you close. So when you see this, what is it that didn't happen in this morning's conversation?
Quite a bit. There's
Quite a bit.
The clarify was there to a certain extent.
Uh-huh.
There was not much development.
Right.
But there was no agreement.
So basically, he opened well. Okay, maybe he could have added some esteem, but
Yeah.
okay, he opened a conversation. He was very specific. He told her what is it that
His
he
tone of
wants
voice
to
was
do.
decent, yeah.
Okay, and he clarified a lot. She said something. He said something. She said something. He said, and then the conversation ended.
Yeah, there's no-
When I said, oh, we need to close, but even when you needed to close, how did you close it?
And an open
You
end.
just left it hanging,
We'll come
right?
back to-
You
circle
still
back to
don't
this.
know what is
Circle
it
back
that
to
you want to
this.
go and achieve, right? So that's a good example of what we practiced today, and now you can see the full loop closing, right? So open with the what and why. When you open a conversation, right? So you open with the what and why. What do you want to talk about and why is it important? Alright? And before you do that, you can bring the esteem. before it, and then you start the opening. Okay, then if you begin the discussion, explain its purpose and importance. Very important. So just now you did not explain the why. Oh, I heard people complaining that you are always coming in late. So why is that a problem? Because you didn't explain why, she started giving you the explanation. Correct? She gave you the explanation that you are supposed to give. So you should have shared to say, oh, why you're having this conversation? Because I need to bring some alignment to the team's working pattern. Otherwise, it's very hard for me to make everybody deliver the expectations the way we have planned it. Okay, something like that. If another person begins a discussion and doesn't explain the purpose and importance, you can. The reverse, right? You can say, what is it that we want to talk about today? And can you repeat what they say? Say, am I right to understand that this is what we are here to discuss today? Both ways, okay? That's the open. Now clarify details, which you did a lot. Okay, before you begin a discussion, ideas and solutions, make sure everyone understands the detail. So clarifying does mean that sometimes you may find yourself repeating, asking that, am I right to understand that this is what you were trying to do and this is why you cannot make it on time to work? Clarify, okay? And then clarify facts, figures, information. So always relate back to something that you can prove, evidence, not just pluck from the sky. Yeah, somewhat, yeah, I think so, maybe. These are all not conversations, okay? Clarification means how many times have you been late? That's what you need to. What do you need to do before interaction?
Do the homework.
Plan your interactions, right? You need to really plan your interactions, okay? Ask the questions if necessary to check your own understanding. Now, next one is develop ideas. So, get everyone involved in developing ideas. Help people identify any help, support and resources they might need. Share your own ideas, so you can see where the share is coming in, right? After listening to everyone else. So normally in this part, you ask for involvement. You ask people, okay, so now we are in this situation, let me see how we are going to move forward. Do you have any ideas on how? I already explained to you that we are having trouble with other team members because you are late, right? So is there a way for us to work through this so that it can be a win-win situation for both? And you listen to what they have to say. Listen carefully and see what can and cannot be applied. The minute you do that, any suggestions, you agree on the actions. Okay, so we have now heard your thought process on it. Let me go and see how it applies to the rest of the team. But we agree that if majority are facing the similar issue, this is what we agree to do. A, B, C, D, what we agree. Then you can, if you still are not sure, you can return to the clarify step. That's why just now you saw there was a loop. You return to the clarify step and you talk about another issue if it's not just one issue. So this is the situation when you have multiple issues you want to discuss. The minute you develop ideas, okay, one issue, park. Next issue, go back to clarify. Okay, like that. You don't have to start your esteem for everything, okay, unless there is, okay. And then when you finish this, you close with review and set a follow-up. Did you see me do that today? What did I do?
You said you reach out to us.
Yes. So I said, so now I've taught you everything you need to know, and then I am closing the session and I'm telling you that at the end of the session, while we finish all this assessment and everything, it doesn't end here. I will do one follow-up call with you, because in the workbook that I've given you, you can see that there are multiple scenarios. Okay? So I'm going to ask you to go back and think about it using these steps that we have been talking about, and try to plan your interaction. So what's going to happen is, I'll probably do like a Teams call with you, or maybe, because we're all in KL, I'll just meet you, and then we can say, okay, let's start the interaction. I'll play the employee, you start your interaction. In that process, we will talk about how you have followed this journey and made it happen. Okay? So now that you have seen this interaction. So you can see in
I have
between.
a question.
Yes.
In the print here, it says the customer's needs are critical.
I think maybe.
It's supposed to be associated.
Associate customers, same.
So it's like all the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
Okay.
So when some of the materials, the customers would mean internal customers, external customers.
Okay,
So
understood.
associate could also be business partners and even
Oh,
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so here esteem and empathy ask for involvement, share and support. Okay? You see where it comes when you open the conversation, then you clarify, then during the clarification you can ask for involvement as you develop the ideas of what you want to do, okay, and then you share, support, and when they share, you agree. Oh, I don't think this will work, I think this will work, okay, let's list down what will agree. Once you do that, you close the conversation by identifying what support you're going to give. Remember the roles and responsibilities, so who does what. Not you just say, okay, so we'll follow up on this, and then after that, go home. You're thinking she's doing, she's thinking you are doing, and then nobody
Nobody
does
does
anything.
anything.
So roles and responsibilities, very, very important. Okay? Before we close.
Oh, we're gonna redo this.
Yes. So who's going to be my final volunteer of the day before we do the exam? Come on. Who would like to try?
I think Pranav
No,
will go ahead.
aside Pranav, because
he can practice and show what he's learned.
cannot.
Oh,
So all of you also learned, right? It's not only Pranav. So somebody else.
wouldn't the
Laura,
Laura, let's go.
Remember, let's go.
come.
Go.
Let's go.
Come, Laura, come.
Go.
Let's do
Let's
this. And Priscilla, can I please have my favorite employee on the road again?
Because I totally agree with her.
Just one more role play, but this time she should apply the.
Good practice.
It's the same scenario. Not Tori but Tanya. So we talk again. Okay. All right. So you remember the scenario, yeah? So Tanya is. So remember
Star performance.
what are the key principles? Tell me first.
Esteem, empathy. What is that?
Involvement.
Involvement, share, support.
Okay, very good. So apply these 5 in the conversation and remember to always clarify, develop ideas, agree and close. Okay? So think about it and see how you're going to start the conversation with Tanya.
Week, apologize, say goodbye again. Try to see you late then. Third time this week. After the initial conversation. So I don't tell him 2 times. It's my fault. So I can make up 3 different scenarios already. Hi Tanya.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Mara. My star performance is here today. So how's your week?
Oh, it's great.
It's great, yeah. So close out how many deals already this week?
3 deals.
Ooh, nice. This week, Thursday, you already closed out 3 deals. Not bad, not bad. But I heard that. Oh, so you will be busy catching up with customers while you come in late these past few days, is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
because I have to meet the customers after they finish their work.
After they finish their work.
Yes, because they also have to work 8 to 5. But then, because he had an appointment and meeting in the office, so he could only complete the deal in the evening. But of course, as usual, the customer expect a dinner. So during the dinner, he signed the purchase order.
So it's not about coming jam, traffic, meet early in the morning that causes you to come in late or to meet customer at the 8:30 in the morning, first thing in the morning that stops you from coming to office late, right?
Well, sometimes it does.
Sometimes,
Depending if it's end of the month or as usual on Fridays.
So it's a usual thing that sales and marketing team face to come in office sharp on time or leave office sharp on time because of customer schedules and everything, correct?
Yeah, because inherently, sales and marketing staff have to be out there, you know. And sometimes they make an appointment at 9 and suddenly they change, okay, I'm sorry, because my boss suddenly came and I couldn't leave, or there's another meeting. Can I meet you in 30 minutes? You see, so I have to wait rather than going back to the office and then back again.
I understand.
Because if I cancel it, it will overlap with my schedule, which is already set with other customers.
Right. All this ad hoc situation just make you harder to plan your time. I totally understand that. Sorry that I have to call you into this meeting. I hope it doesn't affect your schedules meeting customers after this.
Well, I'm supposed to make a call to a customer. Even right now, that's the reason why I had to come to the office, because I needed to use the company phone as required according to the company policy to make a final call to close the deal using the office facility, and because I need to use the company laptop to accomplish the last deals and paperwork. I have to key in everything using the company laptop.
Okay, so it's 4 p.m. That's not just drag it over. So the main issue here is because though this is in sales and marketing department's issue, but I heard your colleagues and all is making feedbacks that they are unhappy why there are no actions taken on you for coming in late. So I just want to understand how can we help you on all this? How or what can the management do to make sales and marketing department more productive and effective in terms of the working
But
hour?
who are those
flexibility?
colleagues?
Like I say, it's
Can
sales and
you define?
marketing.
Because the sales and marketing team are always with me, because they are my downline, so they know where I'm going, and I have to cover for them when they go for sick leave or MC.
Perhaps there are feedbacks when they couldn't get to you. I'm not sure about the situation because this is feedback that I heard or received through
No, I'm
anonymous
very
email.
surprised because
Yeah.
I allow them to call me anytime because we're in the sales.
Perhaps it's when you are with your customers. I didn't get in
Yeah.
detailed information, but
Yes, that is true because when I'm talking to the customer, I have to even switch off the phone.
sure,
Because
totally.
they think it's very rude for me to keep looking at phone and watching the laptop, because sometimes negotiations will take like an extended hour for half an hour, and then he will say, okay, oh, this is the latest price you're giving me, this, okay, let me call my boss.
So what do you think that
Confirm.
changes or more flexible working ways that could suit sales and marketing department so that I can bring it back for discussion with my boss to help
Okay,
you out?
since when we look at our product, it's for the consumer market, which means they are available during the weekends. So what if some of the days, like weekdays, I can take off because I have to work on Saturday, Sunday. Sometimes, because the most important thing is to make the customer happy. At the same time, I deliver the goals. I reach the goals for the end of the month because my income is based on the.
So are you suggesting that
sales.
your working hour is not specified 8:30 to 5:30 p.m. or what are your suggestions?
Well, I always clock in online at 8:30. I also state that I would be meeting some customers at what time, and I have a booking board as well that everyone in the office would be able to see. And also, I've given the link based on following the last meeting with the HR director. I've also included my calendar in my link on my email.
So you are suggesting that for HR or your bosses to track on your attendance and track
Yeah, they can
booking
check on
details?
my attendance based on my clock in and log in time, my booking board.
Does your subordinate report back to you according to that way as well?
Yes.
Yes. So it works within sales and marketing department.
So I guess the complaint must be from the accounts department because they have to leave, because they have to key in the data before the time.
Yeah,
They
I
have
work
to
in
finish work at
marketing.
5. But then if I were to close it at 5, then that means the sales for today will be counted only in the weekend, especially on Friday. So, and then how am I going to explain to you that the deal was already closed before the month end, and you will count it towards the following month's goal? So is that fair for us in the sales and marketing?
I guess that's the point I can bring up for discussion within accounts department and sales department of how to
Yes,
capture
that
this.
would be great.
But at the meantime, yeah, our concern is since there's a feedback feedback on clock-in time. While we work on how accounts department and sales and marketing department could work well together, I hope that we could try to come in on time while we solve the issue, and hopefully by the end of next town hall, we could get a conclusive ways to synergize both departments in our working way.
Yeah, well, if, let's say, the accounts department is happy with that, but what about the production? See, because they have different working hours, and they work around the clock.
Yeah, so we understand that. That's for the bosses to discuss and find a solution to that. But at the meantime, thank you for your support and your sharing for regarding this issue. Until we find a solution, I hope that you can abide to coming in on more frequently on time.
But I still don't agree with that because I already stated my main problem is to be able to come in time.
Yeah, your main
That's the
problem is to
solution.
come in
Yes.
time. Yeah, so you
No
come
way
in
I
on time,
can
we
promise
solve
it.
the other issue.
Because I have to be in the field. Because our chairman is always banging on the door and banging on me to just deliver the sales.
Then I believe our chairman will understand the situation and find the best.
Okay, let's conclude here. Thank you very much. Now we're getting to a lot of assumptions already. So what my chairman might think and what might no. It's about how you are addressing the situation. Okay. So let's do a quick recap first, and then I'm going to tell you what I think went well and what I think could have been better. Okay. Good. So anybody, thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause to that effort. Well done. It was not easy. Okay. So tell me, what did you see different from? So it's the same scenario. Okay. What did you see different from what they did in the beginning of today's session?
There was a lot more esteem.
There was a lot more esteem,
empathy,
okay.
etc. as well.
There was empathy as well, okay. Clarification. So a lot of things we learned today.
Not many assumptions.
Yeah, not many assumptions. Yeah, towards the later part it was getting there, but I could also see that towards the later part. So calm and composure is very important in any communication. Okay. I will tell you very quickly what I observed. Definitely this scenario, you can already see the reflection of a lot of the tools we learned has already been put into practice. Okay. But it needs a bit of refinement. So when I say refinement, there were two extremes. There were some things she did extremely well, really well done. Like especially when you talk about the empathy part, I think it was very good. The involvement, asking for involvement was also very good. Why am I not saying esteem is very good?
Because I don't really support that you are a star performer, you can come in late. No, that's not my.
Yes, and it was in your tone of voice.
Yeah.
I could see it from the beginning. So you see where we go wrong, right? So when you want to do esteem, you
So
need.
we have to fake it.
No, you don't have to fake it. You don't have to fake it.
Yeah,
She is a star performer.
Yeah.
It is not a lie,
That's right.
right? But you cannot let your emotions run through the cracks just because you feel. So now you have already made a judgment about the person who's coming in, which is what I'm telling you shouldn't do. Okay? Any conversation is a fresh conversation. The minute you have that judgment, the whole esteem bit sounded very sarcastic. It sounded very sarcastic. Okay? I was listening to it, I waited, then quickly, then the rest of it she recalled, because when she started moving into, I mean, if any of you feel otherwise from what you saw, let me know. But this is my observation, right? So then eventually, okay, she was talking about, you can see her face was already like not so happy, even though you were talking about the good stuff, the esteem stuff, because of the tone. Then she started explaining to you, right? But the entire practical need of addressing her lateness, we still didn't bring to conclusion. Going and talking to the accounts team is not going to address her lateness, right? It's only one option. Now, the biggest reason why this happened, to some extent, was you did not know who made the complaint. you were not factual about the complaint.
But I cannot throw the person who make complaint under the bus.
But
It's
then-
an anonymous complaint.
But then you said some people in your you already.
I specified
She
it's
said
from your
anonymous,
department
yeah.
and I say it's an anonymous complaint through email.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I say it's people from your department and it's also an anonymous email.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know it's from which
But
department.
what was
so
the complaint? The complaint was about her lateness, right?
Mhm.
Okay, good. I didn't hear that part, but I didn't hear the anonymous part. However, when you tell her that and she's telling you that it's still not sorted, how do we close the conversation? So what next? What next?
With the bias in me, I can't support her.
But that's the thing. So as leaders, I think we really need to first tackle that. The inner struggle is the biggest struggle. And the 10 basic beliefs is the foundation. So if you don't trust your employee and if you keep getting angry with the employee or if you keep having your own judgments about the employee and you don't give the employee an opportunity to change or prove that maybe her past situations were different from this situation. So that's why you need to give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe in the past she was fooling around, but you don't assume that this time also she's fooling around. So you see why the basic beliefs are so important. If you just let go any of those basic beliefs, all the shaitan will start coming out. I don't want to listen. I just want to say what I just want to cut the conversation quick. I just want to do this. And so my next question to you is what if you everybody is busy, right? So sometimes but there was a lot of good empathy, I have to say, in your conversation, and asking for involvement was very good. Not enough sharing. Like, what are your concerns of what all is going on? You just kept saying somebody is complaining, but the complaint just agitates the person. But what is your concern? Okay, people are complaining. You are the boss. You are my boss. What is your concern?
My concern is your subordinate cannot reach you.
So that was not addressed. She said phone sometimes have to switch off because of clients. So she answered you already. So why are you still angry with her?
Because
You see what I'm trying to say? So you can't get that anger get the better of you. You will never finish conversations like that. Okay? Then you must learn how to also park. Sometimes it's okay to take notes. You say, okay, what situation is this? What's the next situation? You are late. People can't reach you. Then on top of that, so I am having difficulty. Share your feelings. It is very frustrating for me when I have to go and explain all of this to people without understanding what is the real situation. Why are you not trying to? And maybe after she explains herself to you, maybe it is you who needs to understand the situation, go and explain to the other side. Not necessarily that she coming late and being a top performer is the issue. Maybe that's not the issue. Maybe your modus operandi for your entire business has to change. Maybe you shouldn't do 9 to 5 for sales and marketing team, and maybe you need to go and explain to finance, hello guys, they're not sitting here and just writing the books where you can write the books between a certain fixed time. Theirs is real-time situation, and she gave you all the answers.
and I responded to that.
What did you say?
I said let the bosses discuss this because they will totally understand your situation. But at the meantime,
No.
until the results
You
come
need
out.
to understand the situation, not your
Yeah,
bosses.
so if I go and explain this,
Yeah, so but you didn't admit that, right? You still didn't give her the
The
opportunity and assurance to believe that you actually believe her and that you're going to take this forward to make sure that we find ways. It's a we situation. It's not bosses and you. I am sitting in the middle. I'm the sandwich. I'm the poor person. Everybody is killing me. My staff also doesn't respect me. My bosses also don't let me make the decision. So basically, you don't know where you stand. So this is what shouldn't happen. She's your subordinate. You first give her the assurance that you believe her. Then watch how you will get your support. And in the meantime, so because you haven't even given her assurance that you believe her, you expect her to come on time? She will say she doesn't even believe me. Let her go and talk first. I will see what I can do.
That means
Yeah.
that basically you have to give her the assurance that you believe her,
Yes.
But you don't have a solution yet, lah.
Yes.
So therefore, you
So
will-
that's the conclusion.
So then-
She had a conclusion that she was going to go talk to the boss.
so that's the
But
next thing.
how she said it was wrong. She said, let the bosses decide. It's not let them decide. What is your role here? Roles and responsibilities. We spoke about it, right? Your role is to try to come on time. But my role is not my role. I have no role here. The bosses will decide what to do. And what are you doing here? Then why are you having this conversation with me? You see the detach? That's the problem. So, if you are having the conversation, it's about you and me. I need to fix this. How am I going to fix this? Don't drag everybody else in. You see, that's where it was. But that was one part of it, and it was good that at least she had some conclusion to say that, okay, we were going to discuss about it. It's just the method. Okay? But it was definitely far better than, a lot of things that we didn't practice this morning. So there was a lot of the tools that we practiced. You can see the change? Okay, cool. You had a question?
No, I was just thinking like sometimes it's
Ah.
a bit difficult when you're caught in the middle like that.
Yes.
Because when we say, I can see where you're coming from and all that, then if that employee may say, hey, then you go and tell the bosses, like you discuss the matter with the bosses, and then it comes back, it's not accepted. Then this employee might say,
difficult situation
you say,
conversation.
you know, what is this? You're not fighting for me. Like those
No, but
kind of
that's the
situations will
vulnerability
come.
you will share.
Okay.
That's the vulnerability you will share. I have brought up the situation, right? You don't always have to be right, and you don't always have to win with your bosses as well, right?
Unfortunately,
So you
our
say we
bosses
brought it
do.
up, but the bosses must have a reason. So when you are having your discussion with the bosses, you give your reasons, because you will also have to tell them, I have to go and explain to this employee, because they're not going to just accept that you just say no. And this is how we're going to start losing employees. Because, another company allows them flexible working hours, they're going to go. Now, do we really want to keep this employee? She's a star performer. So if you say that, then they will explain to you why. If they don't explain to you why, then really, the employee can go. We don't care. You see what I'm trying to say? But the idea is that. The idea is roles and responsibilities, each one has a part to play.
There's something
in the job.
incongruent here,
Yes.
whereby initially when she approached me, saying that some staff are complaining about me, and then all of a sudden after talking, suddenly he said, okay, let the boss decide. I said, where did the boss come in? Who is the one who complained? So my answers would be different.
Yes.
If you had brought up that the boss is the one who complained, you see, then my response would be different, because I would have given answers that would fit into the vision of the boss. Because we've got to realize that in every company, the organizational vision is one, and they usually tie in with the sales goals and target of the sales and marketing people. Okay, so every department have their own vision as well, has their own objective. So how do we tie it in? You see, so that was how I wanted to help in by concluding that part. But then when it comes to, okay, the boss, suddenly is the boss. So I've already explained and solved the problem about the workers, my staff or whoever is making the complaint, but suddenly I have to deal with another situation whereby you bring about the boss. So then I was so surprised, because bosses usually are the one who set the goal. It's with their everything, and then they are the one who sign, they employ the job description, and then they are the one who set the target. So we've got to know who is the one responsible for my JD in the first place. Okay, and who are you and a HR executive to complain to me about my star performance? So it's about the hierarchy. Who makes certain decisions and who would be more empowered to talk to me? Why don't the boss himself talk to me?
Yeah.
So I felt offended about that. So these are real life problems happening that led to a lot of conflicts in the office.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I hope you all see the situation here. Okay. So a few things we learned today, right? Before we do the final test, you can start clearing your. This one you cannot refer to anything, so I need you to close all your papers. Okay. And the test is exactly 15 questions. Yes. 15 questions and it's objective.
Oh,
Okay, so pretty much easy. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a quick recap of what we've learned today, and then I'm going to give you the test. We do the test, and then I've got a small request for you to help me with sessions feedback, for you to give me feedback in terms of, you know, what could have been done better, what went well, what did you learn or did you not learn, okay? Yeah, any of these things into a training feedback form that I will give it to you, okay? Sorry, there was a slight overrun of time,
No, that was
so we
my
also
fault,
started
so I
a little bit
apologize.
late, but I thought it was very important to explain some of the questions, even if it meant at length, because this training, as I told you, there is no right and wrong answer. So if you don't explain scenarios, or if you don't explain the context of what we're talking about, you will always end up going back with a, you know, vague understanding of something. Okay, so sorry about that, but otherwise I think you guys were great participants.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the interaction. Okay, take one and pass it. Okay, so before we start the test, this is the conclusion. So the conclusion here is, today I think we've learned how to choose the most effective way to interact with people. Okay, we are not saying this the right way or the wrong way, but the most effective way, because conversations don't always have to end up being very great. They could end up sometimes sour or but the impact is reduced. Okay, so you choose the most effective way. What you get, you want to actually get the practical need of the conversation, as we spoke about. Always remember your objective. I'm calling this person in to talk. Why? Because I want to achieve this. Now, once you finish that, the next thing you ask yourself is, okay, now do I know this person? Okay, go try to do your homework. Find out, talk to other colleagues without sounding too inquisitive, but just to understand what is this person. Where is this person? What have they achieved? You know, sometimes if you go to HR, look into the files, then you have a good idea. So some things you need to be very specific. We say lateness. I tell you, the person would have been very taken aback if you can spell out the number of lateness and what kind of time frames. So on average, you are always 15 minutes late, and this has happened on 3 occasions. So they know you're watching. So they also don't mess with you the next time, you know. So that's why that fact is very important. Sometimes we say, yeah, people come and tell me. So, you know, if I was the employee, I would have even handled it differently. I would have said, you said, somebody told you, you heard it from someone, did you check? Are you telling me all of this without checking? I will ask you, what do you think I am? I bring you the best sales. So, you know, really depends who the employee is, and it could completely go in a different direction. So you need to do your homework always, yeah, plan your interactions. Then make sure you give people what they need from the interactions with you as well. So a lot of things that she's saying, you need to some extent agree with the person, agree to disagree, as I said. Agree with a follow-up. Agree with a follow-up. You don't necessarily agree with what she's doing. As you said, you don't agree that lateness and being a superstar goes together. I agree with you as well. But you need to tell her that, okay, there is a next step coming, but for the moment, we carry on doing what we are doing. I'm still watching, but, you know, let's try to, you know, as you suggested, let's try to minimize this as much as you can. Maybe you need to find ways to say how you can be actually informed, and not that you have to go and find out. If you're going to be late, maybe you let me know because you had a client meeting the day before. Can I suggest that this is something that we can work until I speak to management to find a midway that works for all of us, you know? So that's an option. So that's very important, that you need to make sure they also get what they want from the interaction. Otherwise, they just feel like you're talking and they're still not getting what they want. They walk out not satisfied. They will talk to 10 other people, and then the reputation of the boss will be like that. Okay, so you don't want that to happen as well. Maintain strong work relationships and reduce misunderstanding and conflicts. Because at the end of the day, whatever conversation you had, right, you just imagine the next day you have to walk in and you see the same face. Do you really want to come and see that face, snubbing away, don't want to talk to you because... So sometimes it's good to have an amicable discussion, not necessarily what you really wanted, but keeping in mind that tomorrow I have to see the same face to work, right? Improve employee retention in your teams and improve your personal branding as a leader. This is very important because all good conversation can happen over and over again, but it takes only that one wrong conversation where they will brand you as a leader, and it is that one wrong conversation that will be your brand, not all the good conversations you had. Okay, so this is really the conclusion of today's training. All right, thank you very much. You can start the questions. Only evaluation, training evaluation. And done. Done?
Question 12 is all the way at the bottom.
Question?
12.
Yeah, it's right at the bottom of the second page. I think the question is on the second page.
Yeah.
Answers are on the third.
All the way at the bottom, question 12.
There.
Yeah, okay. This is
Yeah. Easy, right? The test? No?
No.
Pranav says easy.
What's the answer, bro? Can't tell me.
Right?
You're not supposed to tell me, yeah?
Not supposed to tell.
I haven't yet.
Okay, done. If done, you do the same thing we exchange and mark. Are we almost there? Okay.
Also,
Hmm?
maybe go to the bathroom.
Sure, go.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. It's just 15
You go
questions.
out and to the left.
Oh,
There is a fire door. Go through that fire door.
Alright.
Yeah. You remember the number to come in?
14, 25.
Okay, done.
Hold on, yeah.
Job is done. Sorry. Done.
Think so?
Okay, exchange.
Wait, Pranav.
Will you find
Yeah,
out?
he will come. Yeah, she's still here.
I mean, since I'm gonna see your paper anyway, right? What do you do about it?
Huh?
What do you do about it?
She's still doing so I can see.
Cannot stay.
Cannot see. Don't check.
Sorry.
No worries, no worries. Actually, I had a question.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether to ask it in the middle or at the end.
Ask.
I'll give you a scenario.
Mm.
Okay, so let's say shit, I forgot my scenario. Hold on, I remember it again. I remember it now.
Kan you
Yeah. No problem.
You know what
You
it is?
can't remember
Yeah,
it now?
but okay, but basically, no, the whole thing that I want to talk about is that in understanding all these concepts and principles and all the basic beliefs and all that, right? The application wise is actually a very difficult thing to do because so the scenario I have is like, let's say now, like work from home is a culture now, it's a common working culture, and flexible hours and all that also has become a norm,
Yes.
right? So
It's a law in Malaysia.
yeah, so if let's say, like in my company, we go on case by case basis. So if let's say if your boss agrees to certain terms, then it's fine. But let's say your boss is very lenient. So let's say he's giving you the choice of working from home 3 days a week, and now suddenly there are times where you need to work from home because of certain scenarios at home. So it becomes 4 in certain weeks and all that, but then it becomes a bit more repetitive, right? In my head, like, because let's say I'm the one missing, like, I might think my boss might be thinking I am slacking or just not wanting to come to the office, something like that, right? He might not be reacting that way, but a lot of times people don't speak what's in their mind because it's a professional, because we're in a place where we're supposed to be professional. I often think, what if I'm in his situation, and the fact that I'm already thinking now what he is thinking of me, I might do the same to my subordinates. Yeah, so how...
So what would you have done if you were the boss?
I think at the end of the day, it comes down to what results the employee is showing.
Ingo? Okay.
Yeah. So
That's one.
that's why when you were
So
talking
flexible working hours is a law. Can you tell them no, I cannot give it to you? No. But my question just now that I wanted to ask you while you were narrating the whole thing is, okay, your boss might be thinking this. He may not be asking, but he's thinking this. Why you let him think? Why don't you just tell him?
So that's what I do now. Like now it's
Yeah.
the communication part, right?
Correct.
So that's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
It's more communication just to make sure he's fine with it.
Correct.
But likewise, you see, this is employee to boss, right?
Yeah.
So if let's
So
say
you
I
don't
was
need
in
to
the
always
shoes-
wait for your boss to approach you and then to ask you, and then once it's already become a situation. So sometimes how do you avoid that situation? You tell your boss, boss, you know, I know that it is three
work
days
from
in a
home
week,
days.
but you know, recently we have had this scenario and that scenario that is causing me to, you know, have to do additional remote work. How do you think we should go about it? Ask him.
Okay.
You don't need to wait for him to ask you. You ask him, do you have any ideas on how you think we can work around it so I could still support the team's 3 days a week?
Okay.
He might come back and tell you, no, you have work to do, you just do. If you have to be remote, you be remote.
Okay.
Because he can explain to the rest of the team. So it's okay.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Okay? Shall we? Actually, I've extended. The room is actually till 6:30.
I'm so sorry about that.
No, not you, nothing to do with you. But so no, I'm just suddenly thinking I need to write to them. That's okay, no problem.
Okay.
I'm just, you done? Oh, not yet. Finish.
Yeah.
Finish? Exchange already?
Yeah.
Okay. First one. Answer is
C.
C. Okay. Second.
Please see.
Next one. C. Personal and practical needs. Okay. Personal needs means they will need to be understood. B. Okay. The best way to meet personal needs is by using
Oh.
all of the above. When enhancing self-esteem, it is important to C, specific and sincere. Okay. When maintaining self-esteem,
D for Denmark.
B and C. D. Answer is D. Focus on facts and respect and support others. Okay. To show people that you understand them, you
Listen and respond with empathy. Oh,
Denmark.
yeah.
Is it Denmark?
Denmark. Listen and respond with empathy. Respond with empathy means
C.
Responding to both facts and feelings.
yes. Number 9. When facing a tough situation, the best thing to do is
Ask for help.
yes. C. Ask for help. No, I was laughing reading the one above it. Okay, 10. To get people involved, you need to
All of the above.
ask questions to get their ideas, overcome the tendency to do everything yourself, and ask them to contribute to D. Right? When sharing thoughts, it is important to be selective and balanced. To effectively share your feelings
Match feelings to issues.
Yeah, match feelings to issues.
and
Oh.
And
be
respond
true to yourself. So the answer is D. To provide an appropriate level of support,
A and
A and B.
A and B, so the answer is D. 14. When providing support without removing responsibility,
Don't assume the best way to approach an issue.
A and B.
yes, A and B. Okay, so the answer is C, yeah, for 14. 15. Last one.
D. Denmark.
Guide you, Denmark.
No.
Interaction guidelines,
Guide you through the discussion,
B.
right? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Answer is B. Okay, so can you calculate the scores? And let's see who achieved 80%. This exam paper you need to send back to me. Okay. What I will do is once I've handled it, then I will pass it back to you when I follow up on your conversations that I will be calling you on. Okay? So the last part of today's session, and if I may ask, yeah, what's the score? 11 out of 15.
I have 78% or 76%.
36?
76.
Oh, 76%.
No,
Okay.
no,
36.
79.
I mean 78.5.
79. Yeah, 12 is 80.
78.5, 79. Okay.
79 is possible, slightly below, 1% somewhere. You're happy with that.
Okay.
1.5%.
So who got 80?
79. You got
80, okay. 80.
87.
Huh?
87.
Paying attention.
Yeah.
No.
I calculated the
How many?
I think it's 10 right.
What did I get wrong?
10 divided by 15?
Nothing.
72.5.
Okay. Come. Yeah, you can help her with the percentage?
Yeah.
7?
67.
67. 67. Okay, so this is the last part before we close for the day. It's called training evaluation. So I'm going to ask for help and get involvement today, right? And I really would like you to give me feedback based on just 11 questions and anything that you think you would that you like most about the training. I want to hear about it. Okay, so take one, pass it on. Yes.
This one is C, right? Which
Yeah,
one?
it's
To provide an appropriate level of support, it's A and B. This one? A and B, correct? This one. Are you talking about this? Which one are you talking? This one? When providing support without your own responsibility, A and B. You mark D, right? It's A and B.
Facilitation.
Yes. The final exams, pass it back to me as long as you have your names there. So we've got Vyoman, Laura. Can I have yours?
Oh, yeah.
Final exam? Yeah. Anurag?
This is Dr. Shashi.
Yeah.
Okay. Final exams?
Pranay, I passed you all three
Pass
of
all,
them.
okay. Three of you.
So,
Thank you. Oh, nice. Okay.
I pass it back to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You will just start out with the green and yeah, and you can put the pens together.
Can I turn this off first?
I don't know. That's her hidden.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Is that the end? No more
No, not
conclusion?
yet. We're done. Conclusion we've done just now.
Alright.
So it's just closure after I pick up this, like goodbyes and thank you. Keep it. I need
Does
to
this go in there as well?
the-
I don't know, but we can try
Yes.
this $3 variant.
Yeah. I have to mental. Oh yeah, sure. Which one am I?
You got a
We
deposit.
have spicy one.
The 20 cents. You have just 20 cents every time you pick one.
No, 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 no.
Sorry.
Okay. Alright, what?
Okay, we are good?
Yep.
Everyone given? Thank you so much for coming today, spending this time. Extended another half an hour, but can we take a group photo?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. Let's do that.
It's not that back or we can do
You can take, the materials are for you to keep,
Oh, perfect.
okay? Just for you to keep.